Yeah, man, people, welcome back to another JPL show. Yeah, this is second leg of the preview. You don't know, tomorrow, all heads to Sabina. Yeah, 5 p.m. local time and 8 p.m. local time for the kickoff. You don't know, the Junglists will kick off against the All Whites, 7-time champions from Brighton, Portmore United, and then I don't know, TG versus Firehouse as them come from, Joe's land. Look, bless up to everyone that's on the stream at this moment. Respect to everyone that's always supporting the media house movements. Salute. But look, just there, for chit chat a little bit. Not here for too long. Probably after around 15 minutes, yeah, or 20 minutes, just to preview what's ahead tomorrow after the JPL game. Yeah, Portmore again. It's it's the halftime. Yeah, it's halftime in both games. Both games tied 1-1. Wow, what a way to start a second leg game. It's going to be a very exciting encounter at Sabina Park tomorrow. Trust me, especially when the Junglists will play first. I hope that it doesn't cause any chaos at Sabina Park, because I know tomorrow the Junglists will come out all out preparing for that game, especially the fans them come out to see their team. Yeah, it peak hours in Jamaica, so I hope everything can deal with in a tidy manner. Hope they can get the people in the venue as fast as possible. As I know, Jamaican people them don't really know time, man. But we always popped up like you'd say probably the last 5 minutes of any venue. The time, yeah, that's all Jamaican always, carry on. Said the game start tomorrow at 5 p.m. You would see Jamaican pop running, 4:55, 5 o'clock running right in. Yeah. But that's the nature of Jamaicans are. But you just have to live with it. Yeah, you just have to live with it. Just like how, I schedule this live stream to go on for 5:15, but soon as I'm supposed to turn on the live, someone at the door. But yeah, he's got it though. I said first half in both games, yeah, Arnett versus Portmore. But I want to say something first. I saw an article in I think it was in the Gleaner this morning, yeah, of Chris Williams talking about the whole system of playoffs, and I think he touched on a little bit of the security thing. Yeah, is it? I think it's Chris. No, I think it's Owen Hill actually did an article, and he made a few comments in the Gleaner, and he went on and was talking about the format of JPL. Yeah, many people have there say that it should go back to a league format. It did very excited to a league format. You'd say probably like a mid-season final. But I think this playoff thing can work really well for Jamaican Premier League. It marketable for our sports and how our fans then digest the local football, and how the sponsors them come in and put in their money, put in their brand in it. Yes, I think when it comes on to the JPL playoff, it's a very exciting thing in terms of if you can make it a lot entertaining. Yeah, because Jamaican people love entertainment. Anything when it comes pretty into entertainment, that's Jamaican people. They love that. Yeah, a one-off show where they can dress up, come out, show their image, show their colorful, footwear that they have on their feet, their clothes, everything. Here, the women them will come out especially, their makeup and all of that. But really, really good product, the JPL playoff. I could see that, last week they got a really good turnout. It could have probably even be a little bit more better. I want to see that side of Sabina Park full up. George Edley stand. That's what I want to see full. When you see that side of Sabina full, then it's a massive crowd. But I think you would see anything like that until maybe until like the semi-final. But see, maybe tomorrow is a surprising one. You just never know. Yeah, but as I said, Owen went on, and he spoke with the Gleaner, and he said, pertaining to why the playoffs are he said that, I'm quoting Mr. Hill, he said, we are balancing shareholders and stakeholders value, stimulating us. He said, I want this to be understood very clearly. That's the kind of balance required, and I think playoffs gave us just that. It's talking about like the entertainment stuff of how they can market the Jamaican Premier League. So I wouldn't want to necessarily see it go back to like a league format. If it go back to a league format, I have to live with it. But it's not the end of the world. Yeah, they probably still can get how they're going to market a league format. But I just feel like playoffs, it's just that excitement, man. It's just that buzz, and it give teams a lot more to play for, especially the teams them that's fighting to be in the playoff position, just like our Waterhouse and Mobile. One time Dumble Olin was in around the mix. Even they were in that top 6 position, yeah, give them that extra excitement to get in it. Yeah, just like how of you when they won it, they barely creep in that 6th position. And God also. So it's just up to teams that who go on to win the regular season, to be a little bit more consistent in the playoffs. Yeah, and try to get over the line. From the get-go that the playoffs going to be the format. You play out the regular games, yeah. You cannot just lay down and think that the title going to come down at you because you is the regular season champion. No, look at what happened to the Junglists last season. We lost in the semi-final against Mount Pleasant, finished in the regular season. So you don't really find the teams that in first position in the regular season go on to win the league. And I said much about that in my review. I think I said a lot about the last time a team that finished first in the regular season go on to win the title was Portmore when they did it the last 2 seasons before that COVID outbreak in around the world. But look, the first game, Arnett Garden, versus Portmore. Look, this is going to be, you see, this second leg, for the Junglists, is going to be very vital in terms of not conceding first in that game. And when you look at it, what happened, I think around December when we lost there at Ferdinand Park, and then a few matches there back, we drew that game against them, in the jungle. We have conceded first, we have conceded. No, I think we scored first in the one at our home ground, at Arnett home ground. But this Arnett Garden team is a very young team. Yeah, it's a very young team, and you don't really want to go behind. Just like what happened, yeah. Portmore went ahead in the game. They came out, they surprised everyone. They pressed Arnett Garden right up the field. They pushed their wing back right up the field, and they squeezing Arnett right in their defensive shape, in their defensive third, and it just couldn't work out, and they kind of pressed them in that midfield. But if Arnett Garden, I just believe that if Arnett Garden go on to concede a goal in the first half, especially conceding first, it's going to be a very, very difficult game for the Junglists, yeah? Because the Portmore team, it's not the average team. It's not an average team. Portmore, whenever Portmore is in the playoffs, the last time they were in around the playoffs, it was when they won it back-to-back. They don't give up a lot of victories. They don't give up a lot of goals. They have this very good record in playoffs that they always go on to a final whenever they're in the playoff system. So I think Arnett Garden going to come up against it. When you look at this Portmore team, the best defensive record last season, and I think this season they're second best in the league. I think they conceded around 16 goals, 17 goals this season, somewhere around that. So I just think that as a young team, Arnett Garden, most youngsters, you could say Fabian Reed, maybe like Eric, the goalkeeper, kind of a little bit of experience. Even Eric, former Portmore, goalkeeper. Yeah. But I expect to see a lot more changes. Portmore big striker Chevron Walsh, the man that scored 9 goals for the season. He was sitting out on the bench, not really 100%. But I just feel like, as a coach like Philip, just what Chevron Walsh did in the second half of that first leg against Arnett Garden, his presence alone in a round, it kind of get Arnett backline a little bit on their toes. So I just feel like, this is one game. This is a one-half game now. Yeah, this is a one-half game now to go to the semi-final to play Cavalier. You have to start the big man up front, especially when you look on how Alex Marshall came out. Big up to everyone that's on the stream. Yeah, Richard Green, big up yourself. Joel. Yeah, bless up on yourself. But look, when you really look at it, how he came off and his presence alone, yeah, you could imagine if he started the game, it probably would have been something different, probably be a different scoreline. But you probably could argue again, if he was on the pitch from the get-go, would Portmore be pressing like that? Because look, you have Gio Edley, young player, you have Alex Marshall, two quick players up front that's really pressing on it. God, can Chevron Walsh do that through the first 45 minutes and still manage to give you some energy whenever Portmore need it in the attacking third? Yeah, so I'm just looking at it. Most people say, yeah, Portmore press on it, God, but maybe it was down to the absence of Chevron Walsh sitting on the bench. So get him in. He have to start. You have to gamble. You have to bring him in. He's a man that scoring goals for you this season. He is the marksman this season. Alongside Alex. And maybe you might probably could see changes in the back. Maybe you could see what's his name, Emilio Russell, a man that probably one of the best defender in the game for Portmore on the night. Yeah, even though Fabian Reed kind of fix him out there on the left-hand side, I don't know where am I go get one Ramos in 9 foot yet, but maybe you could see him, going up a little bit more advanced role. I don't know if Rudolph Aston will be back in time from that trip, in Turkey. So let's see how Philip Williams will pen out this guy. Yeah, probably in a long trip. Probably don't even want to gamble on a man that's in his lateral part of his career coming from Turkey, drop him into a team where I just don't think Rudolph will get that going. I just don't think if Portmore go on to make it to the semi-final, you more likely probably would see, a Rudolph fasting, but not probably, looking to see him tomorrow. I just feel like, that's maybe the one change that Portmore might make, yeah. And then, you have Stevenson Barnett up front. Will he go with Stevenson Barnett and Chevron Walsh up front? Meanwhile, Alex Marshall can play behind him in that number 10. And, young Jay Edley can come off the bench and play a cameo. Yeah, but it's, again, the energy have to come from Portmore midfield because they did an excellent job in that first half. Yeah. From the start of the game, that Portmore midfield threw off the Arnett Garden midfield because Philip Williams have learned his lesson, yeah, over the 2 games that he have played Arnett Garden, and probably looking at it when Arnett Garden have been playing through the regular season, Arnett Garden main strength and where they develop their game is normally from through the midfield and transition the ball out to the wing. So he have done an excellent job. So let's see, this is the 3rd time. Will he come with the same strategy? Will Xavier Gilbert come with something different to stop this Portmore press? Look, everyone tomorrow is expecting to see another press from Portmore team, but Xavier Gilbert, you have to change something. You cannot go with the same style. You probably have to make some midfield changes. You could probably see young Gerald Neal Jr. can come in for young Wizard in that right back position. Give a lot more energy. You expect to see, maybe Barnett and Walsh if Philip Williams is that brave and go for it from minute 1 to minute 90. Can he start the 2 number 9 up front and play Alex Marshall behind him? So that's what I'm saying. The Arnett Garden to counteract that, young Gerald Neal Jr. have to play tomorrow at right back for Wizard. He's a more aggressive player. He's probably a better ball player on the ball, and he have a lot more physical presence when it comes on to set piece because Portmore have some big fellas, especially those 2 midfielders. I think one of them is Sagan Knight. Yeah, they have Steve Young in the back, and they have Emilio Russell, players that really probably around 6'1" of high presence, aerial presence in the box can really hurt any team in the JP when it comes on to set piece. So I just think give young Gerald Neal Jr. a start. Can see that sometimes he makes some rational challenge could understand that, but you have to just give him it. You know, he loved the moment. He's just like his dad. He loved to live the moment of big games. You know, so give him that trust, and you know, put your arms around him. You know, most players, young players, just put your arm around him and motivate him, and you know, you can get the best out of him. You know, so Arnett Garden, I think maybe that's one of the changes, and I just think with the midfield that started, I think Thompson, Marlon Martin, and Jamil, young national, I think, what's his name? I remember his name. But his name is National though. I don't remember his name. You know, but look, those three midfielders for the Junglers, you know, played in that first leg. I think you have to make a change. You have to make a change and bring someone in that midfield. Yeah, look, Arnett got in the bank, and you know, Jamal Shepherd to come off the bench. You know, give them some energy in the midfield, as they know he's a box-to-box midfielder. He love to dribble the ball, but again, you know, Shepherd come on and he played, I say, probably the worst game he have ever played. That Arnett Garden game I've televised. Yeah, that's the worst game I ever seen Shepherd played. You know, so I hope, you know, whoever start in that midfield and whoever, you know, get the go ahead in the midfield need to go from minute one. Get on the ball, be aggressive. You know, get in behind that Portmore team. Get the ball out on the wing as quick as possible, because that's another thing. Arnett didn't make the ball transition out from the midfield to the winger as fast as they should, because they you know, they started the game pretty well, tried to play the ball a little bit slow, but I think the build up were a little bit too slow from the Junglers in the first 15 minutes, and then I don't know if the two defenders decide that it's just not going to work. They just start to boot the ball along. They just play the ball to the wing backs, you know, is it a Wizard or Philander wing, and they carrying up the ball up front. That's not Arnett Garden game. Those players normally get the ball most of the time in the Portmore half, you know. When you look in the first leg, they got the ball mostly in their defensive third, and there's not enough pass because Portmore really cramping Arnett Garden midfield, and then guess what? The ball got long diagonal, so I think tactically it's going to be very good. It's going to be very good. This is the third time, you know, these coach have met, you know, for the season. But Xavier and Gilbert, you know, spoke after the game, and I'm going to play a little clip that, you know, Xavier and Gilbert after us listening to these people.
How we wanted to play, we just weren't hitting the notes right away, and of course the opponent contributed to that too. I mean, they were getting their players Alex a lot on the ball, which we didn't want early in the game. As we know, once he picked up and they got a rhythm, then things would have been good for them. So that too kind of curtailed how we wanted to attack and go forward. But second half we were a lot better. There are moments in the game that we could have done things a little bit different, and as I said to them, with games like these and environment like this, atmosphere like these, is the moments you have to make count. So when we have the moments and we have them on the back foot, we have to make those moments count.
Yeah, so you know, you talk about the regular stuff, moments. Arnett Garden have to pick their moments, yeah. Kyle Dixon got an opportunity, I think, in the first, I think it was on the 20 minute. You know, he got that, he just placed the ball, you know, with his inside, laced the ball through and kick it at far post. There's no way that could have missed him. He's trying to kick the ball with his outside of his foot with pace, yeah. Maybe if you try to just place the ball a little bit, you know, not so like you want to shoot the ball, like you want to kill the keeper, yeah, just wrap your foot around it. I probably with the left foot. I just, as I said, just put your lace or your instep through the ball at the far post, and you know, you will be a little bit more successful and probably get the goal. But so yeah, not the next thing that he spoke about at the end of that, he said, when you have a team that like Portmore, very experienced team, 7-time champion, on the back foot, you have to make them pay. Yeah, you have to make them pay. And that's what Arnett Garden didn't do. You know, we had moments in the game where in the last quarter of the game, after the 70-minute mark, Arnett Garden have created moments where, you know, they could have get opportunity and probably get the go-ahead goal. You know, so I mean, kudos though, you know, they crawl themselves, they managed to get themselves in the game back, you know, from their legend, you know, Fabian Reed. So I just see, you know, this game is going to go down to the wire again. These teams, as I said, this is going to be the fourth time. Look, two very young coach in the business. Philip Williams have been one of those coaches that over the last couple of seasons since he has been appointed for Portmore, he has been a really, really good coach for the All Whites. Yeah, Xavier Gilbert. Look, he's coaching a top team, top club that it's coming with a lot of pressure. Yeah, the fans them have a lot of demand. So I give him the edge. He showed a lot more commitment. He's probably going to get better and better. He's a woman coach. You know that. So he's going to get better and better as he's coaching Arnett Garden. And if Arnett Garden don't make it to the semi-final, probably I would probably give him another chance at the end. In the dugout, I'd probably give him another chance. But if Mark Goldie decided that he's going to part with because he didn't win the league, I can't challenge him for that because Arnett Garden team is like a Barcelona, a Brazil. We don't accept nothing but first place. So Philip Williams have this to say, in the game.
Delicately poised in terms of the tie, yes. It was a rough game for us tonight. We played a decent first half. The plan was to press Arnett as much as possible in the first half and create as much moments. I think the plan worked with more efficiency in front of goal. We could have got more out of the first half, but I mean, it's very rough to play a pressing game for 90 minutes, and I think the legs went somewhat in the second half for us.
Yeah, so look, talk about the press. That's very important. That's very key. Yeah, that's very key from Philip. Look, it's not something easy to do when you're playing against a team like Arnett Garden. Arnett Garden is going to move the ball fast, and if Arnett Garden come out and have their natural game tomorrow night, Portmore going to be all over the place with that press. Yeah. So look, coach, you cannot let Philip Williams come back again with the same tactics. You have to mastermind, and you have to try to counteract, and you have to come with a plan B. If they close down your game, you have to come with something. So and I feel Arnett Garden just wait until Portmore just get tired. And, they run out of energy, they run out of legs, the wing back stop press, the midfield stop press, and then Arnett decide to play the game. No, you cannot wait because it could have easily gone down probably 2-3. They got opportunities, they got moments. Yeah, even Alex Marshall got that. I think he took a shot that hit the bar in the first 10 minutes of the game. So they got moments in the game where they could have easily gone 2-3 up in the first half. So you cannot let Philip Williams come again and counteract, But tomorrow, people, that game going to be very, very good. And it's going to be challenging for both teams. Yeah, it's not easy coming up against a team for more than 3 times in a season. Yeah, you have to come up. That's why, he's a coach. That's why he's a manager. You're going to come up with a lot of plans. Look, in throughout the whole season, yeah, Arnett Garden, front three, Fabian Reid, Kimani Arbon, Haim Dixon, they have combined with 19 goals, that 43% of Arnett Garden goals this season. That's where the most of the goals coming from, especially the man himself, El Capitano. Yeah, so he's going to have to show his experience up front. He's have to show his dominant and lead from the front line. And once he gets his opportunity, he have to take them as he normally do in game. But I don't know what happened in the last game. Yeah, but Arnett Garden, have to create from the midfield, have to overload the wing back, especially a Portmore team that's going to play three at the back, overload the wing backs, fill on the wings on the left, young Gerald Neal Jr. or Wizard on the right. You have to overload the wing with Kimani Arbon or Kyan Dixon, whoever start, Rashid Kelsin, Warner Brown. They have to overload and push back because Portmore is using 1-2 flank players. That's it, period. So if you can get to overload areas, create moments, create channels that the wing backs and Kyan Dixon and Kimani Arbon, whoever play in that front three and the wing up front, they can squeeze in and they will have Portmore team a little bit more narrow and keep them out of shape. And then you will discombobulate the midfield. So if, Arnett can do stuff like that and just by intertwining, keep the triangles, keep the octagon as the Arnett Garden team start to play in the middle of the season. Yeah, a lot of triangles, Jaime Thomas, Rashid Kelsin. I want to see, and the bench is going to be very, very crucial. The bench, yeah, the bench for both teams, it's going to be very crucial. But look, I'm going to, time to kind of move on from this game. Time to move on from this game, I know. But, that's it, people. Arnett Garden and Portmore. I'm not going to make a score prediction in this one. I'm not going to make a score prediction. I would love to see my team, the Junglers, go through and get in the semifinal where we can play Ruda Speed team and try to thump up him face because him take away a playoff game from me already. Yeah, man, Ruda Speed, I think it was 2018, 2019, yeah, when Cavalier beat up Arnett Garden 3-0 in a playoff. I think it was a semi-final. And beat up my team wicked without Arnett Garden scored. That's the only playoff game Arnett Garden have got right through in two-legged and never scored a goal. But look, tomorrow, the Junglers and Portmore, the all-white 7-time champion versus the 5-time champion from the Concrete Jungle. Move on. West Kingston, big boys, Tivoli Garden versus the team from Jewsland. Yeah? Big up Keaton Simpson, the politician, yeah, and big up Marcel Gale, big up the biggest coach in the world. You don't know, Jerome Wade. But before we go any further, let's hear from the biggest coach in Jamaica.
Our concentration level went where we gave up a penalty. And at this level, decision making in the final turn, it cannot be turning inside to goal. It must be away from goal. But overall, I think Waterhouse, they came here with a purpose. And they did feel well in the first half. One of the things that we ask the attacking players to do, once you receive, connect with your midfielder that make the transition to make it becomes easier. Instead of you end up, getting those contact unnecessarily. But the second half game was a different thing, when I went to the bench and started to pull players. And you realize we got so many chances that we should have a way to make it be our game basically.
Yeah, so Jeremy, spoke and he talked about that big changes that he made, yeah. Radica Wellington, he brought on Nikolai Fuller and it changed the game completely. Yeah, but Marcel Fuzzigale, I feel like, look, Waterhouse Arnett the rival, we don't like nothing when it comes on to yellow and blue. Waterhouse above you. But we just feel like Waterhouse, just look at how Waterhouse played in that first half, yeah? They have surprised, Tivoli Garden team. And Tivoli Garden have disappointed me, again. Because when Tivoli played 2 games against Mount Pleasant. I think they lost that one at Sidamis, the first round, 1-0, when Kimoni Bailey scored, and I think they lost 1-0 or 2-0 at Jackson. But when I look at those 2 games, especially, you have to mark the big teams, the defending champion, the bigger team in the league. Yeah, they came up short in 2 games against Mount Pleasant. They came up short. First, they start the game, especially at Jackson and Hudson, like they don't want to play. They just didn't press. Jerome Wade team wasn't running, and he actually even said it. He don't know if his team was actually still sleeping on the Sunday evening, So I think, big moments, big time players, Jerome Wade, coach, I've won around 4 Premier League titles, for himself at Arnett Garden, and look at it. He have a vast amount of experience, and he brought on Lennox Russell off the bench in the game, a man who won the league at Arnett Garden under Jerome Wade, and he have players that he trusts, but I think Jerome Wade have to get some screw in them Tivoli man head, because even when Tivoli played Cavalier in the regular season, I don't know, man. This season when Tivoli don't have bad record against top 16 in the Jamaican Premier League season. The only team in the top 6 to take a double of Tivoli, it's Mount Pleasant. They don't lose games against top 16. That's the thing I love with Tivoli team, yeah? But they're not playing with energy. I don't know if Arnett Garden alone them have strength for, but it's like the 2 games that the man play Arnett Garden, yeah? The man decide that they're going to come with intensity, they're going to come with running, yeah? And they're going to come with their own game plan. And it did work on the Junglers, but I'm looking forward to see a really good game. But Nikolai Fuller, yeah, a player that, have started over 20 games, for for Tivoli this season. I was a little bit shocked, as to see him on the bench. He started out, forgot the striker name, but he started Justin Donut on a wide right, intertwined with the number 9, and what's his name? Howard Morris, was on that left hand side. Really, really good player. So I was just wondering, Fuller was carrying a little niggling or what, or it was just tactically, but they did came on and they changed the game. But Fuller have to play tomorrow. Because look, Fuller up against, is either Brown or Dallas, and both wing back for duty for Waterhouse, Howard Morris and Fuller, 2 of the best young players in the league. That's really good one-on-one. 1v1, like dead ball, stop, and move defender out of them way. I love to watch Tivoli team. When Tivoli team is playing, my eyes is on, those 2 players. Obviously, Justin is a quality player, but I just feel like throughout the season, watching him, he want to switch too many times. Yeah, you have to stick in the midfield, in the striking position, stay centrally. Keep those defenders on their toes. Yeah, and I just feel like if he can stay in between the 2 goal posts, just in those little channels and keep them intertwined and let Howard and Nicola Fuller do their thing and get crosses into the box, and Alton, you're going to have Alton Lewis and Penny Cook, the man in the midfield, going to create damage, and move the ball up front and transition the ball into the attacking third. So you just have to stay in the midfield. Yeah, I keep saying midfield, in the striker position, because there's enough bodies already in the midfield for Tivoli. You don't really want to drop back too deep, especially when you have so much gladiator in the midfield that going to break up the players and get you the ball up front. So Waterhouse, Waterhouse, look at it, the leading goal scorer, Andre Fletcher, he was on the bench in the first leg, and I think he came in for Jibinson. They start Nikai, Christian, Jibinson, and both in the midfield. Yeah, very good midfield. And you could see Nikai Christian and Javian Bryan have linked up in that first half. That's how they got the goal right at the end of first half, when Tivoli were just trying to find their way in the game at that time. And they got that penalty. It was a mistake from the central defender, midfielder, yeah? I forgot his name. I don't remember his name, but his nickname is Kante. I think he's a former KC, KC player. But look, see, but I don't think Jeremy might start him tomorrow, knowing Jeremy. But if he start him, kudos. You have a lot of trust in him. But that was a poor challenge from him in the box to give away that penalty. But what Nikai Christian have been doing all season since he started that season, from around October to around the first week in December, him and Javian Bryan has been linking up. Yeah, he have been linking up with Javian Bryan all season in that first phase of the regular season. So it's not that they're just trying to find a new partnership. It's been happening in the first 10 match day of the Premier League for Wato. So that's something really good, to get back Nikai, because he have missing a whole lot of football in 2024, just coming back, from that little injury. So Andre Fletcher might see him in the starting lineup for Waterhouse. I don't know how they're going to, set up who they're going to take out, because look, Rivaldo Mitchell, a player, and Denada Thomas, especially Denada Thomas, is a wonderful player, but might probably want to leave the midfield 3 as Jibison, Nikai, and both in the midfield, and probably just stick Andre Fletcher out there on the left, and use Denada Thomas on the right, and just create the width. Create the width. Rivaldo Mitchell is a player that always, give them the width outside of the rest of the wingers. So maybe you can gamble a little bit and probably bench, Denada Thomas, but you don't really want to do that, because he's a player that has special talent that he can hear up at any given time. But look, Marcel Gale I've spoken to and listened to.
I thought it was an entertaining game. I thought, two good teams. We go there and leave it on the pitch.
probably some difficult, but look, Tivoli this season, their front three, with Howard Morris, with Dunn and Nicola Fuller, they have scored 22 goals for the season. All three players' goals combined, that's 43% of Tivoli goals this season. And Waterhouse this season, Waterhouse this season, front three, they have scored the most goals in the Premier League when it comes out the front three. Dinardo, Javier Bryan, and also Andre Fletcher, they scored 28 goals combined. That's 73% of Waterhouse goal. They have scored. So if anything Waterhouse is going to get from this game, it has to come from one of those three players. They have to turn up. They just have to turn up. Just like how Javier Bryan stepped up and put that ball in the back of him from the penalty spot. They have to step up. If Nicola Christian start tomorrow, which he is going to do, you're going to get what Nicola Christian have been doing in the Jamaican Premier League for over a decade. Jibinson, a good talent that can create at any given moment. You have both in that CDM role. He's going to break up plays. He's going to get the ball rolling. And again, will Fuzzy, start Keaton Simpson? Will he start Keaton Simpson tomorrow? Though I don't know, but let's see what's going to happen. But look, Jerome Wade have never, ever beat a Waterhouse team when it comes on to playoff in his days at Arnett Garden, and he drew that game cemented. So his last 4 games, except the game that he played in the first leg, in 2013 and 14 season, Arnett Garden versus Waterhouse, that game draw 3-3. The second leg, Waterhouse won the game 2-1. In 2017-18 season, Waterhouse beat Arnett Garden 1-0. In the second leg, Arnett Garden lost 2-1. So Jerome Wade have never beat a Waterhouse team in a playoffs game yet. Never since 2014 until now. And then, the latest, he drew that one back-to-back. So, so his record against Waterhouse in playoff, he has lost 3, draw 2, win none, conceded 8, and scored 6 goals in the last 5 games that he have, come up against a Waterhouse team in the playoffs. So, look, Marcel Fuzzy-Gale, the history and the statistics is against you, is with you. So, you just have to come out and execute that game plan and hope the players can turn up and get the best out of themselves. And experienced players have to turn up, especially Nikai. Javier Bryan, again, I just feel like, Javier Bryan, it doesn't matter what, what Barrington them want to do in the back for Tivoli, you just have to find a way how to get the ball in the back of the net. Justin Dunn, player that, have scored 16 goals so far. You have to get something. You cannot score so much goals. This is where it counts. This is where it matters most when it comes down to playoffs. Push out in a regular season out of the way, playoff time. Throw away all your goals that you scored in the regular season. This is what matters. This is why Cristiano Ronaldo is the goal machine. He has scored the most goal ever when it reached the Final Four and to the final. Nobody have ever scored more goals than Cristiano Ronaldo in a Champions League semi-final. So when it comes down to the two-legged games, you have to conquer. You have to conquer. You have to score. So I hope we can get a good game on the show. But people, look, I have to jump out of here right now as I am heading over to our stream. So I hear about Reggae Boys Weekly Blog. I'm going over 433 Presser. Going to be one of the panels. So you guys can, when the stream close out, can come over there and join. We can talk, chit chat, everything about Reggae Boy Football Weekly. So I'm going over right now to 433 Presser. People, salute. Really appreciate standing by and listen to me giving analysis on the Jamaican Premier League. Respect. So Tuesday, I will see you guys again. Manners and respect out.